tearful farewell to Song Jae-rim, Jung Hae-geun, Kim Soo-hyun, and Song Hye-kyo. The day carried a solemn waiter's family, friends, fans and celebrities gathered to honor the life and legacy of Song Jae-rim. His unexpected passing left a vast emptiness, one that seemed to seep into the world and echo within every soul who had been touched by his work, his kindness, or simply his presence. A stillness lay over the crowd, their shared grief visible as they exchanged quiet words of comfort or stood in silent reverence. With eyes red and puffy from tears, the disbelief lingered. How could someone so vibrant and full of promise be taken so soon? As the mourners gathered, a wave of sorrow enveloped them, a sorrow that resonated across everyone present, from casual fans to lifelong friends. Among the distinguished faces arriving to pay their respects was Jung Hae-geun, known for his warmth and charisma. Today, however, he walked with a heavy heart, his usual smile replaced by a look of profound sadness. His normally bright eyes were dim, clouded by the weight of loss. Fans gathered outside the memorial hall observed his solemn entrance, feeling his heart rake almost as if it were their own. John Hammond's dignified silence was met with an outpouring of sympathy from those who saw his quiet strength and vulnerability in that difficult moment. Kim Soo-hyun was another figure that arrived, his usual poised demeanor now visibly shaken. Known for his charisma, he entered the hall with his head bowed, reflecting a deep respect for his lost friend. Fans noted a change in his demeanor. This was not the composed star they were used to seeing. Instead, Kim Soo-hyun's face reflected an aching grief, his lips quivering as he held back tears. Witnessing him in this state, fans felt a heartbreaking kinship with him, experiencing the same profound sadness of watching a beloved figure mourn so deeply. Song Hye-kyo arrived without any fanfare, dressed in muted tones befitting the solemn occasion. She moved with a calm yet heartbroken grace, her face a reflection of the sorrow and pain everyone was feeling. As she reached the memorial portrait of Song Jae-rim, her usual poise melted away and a single tear slipped down her cheek. Here, in this moment, Song Hye-kyo was not the unshakable actress known for her powerful performances. She was simply a friend, grieving the loss of someone dear. Her vulnerability resonated deeply with everyone present, who understood that Tatya spoke not only of her own loss, but the collective sorrow surrounding them. Outside the hall, the sense of loss radiated even further as countless fans gathered, many holding flowers or small signs bearing heartfelt messages. They, too, were overcome with emotion, some unable to contain their tears as they clung to one another. For these fans, Song Jae-rim was more than a public figure. He was a source of comfort, joy, and inspiration. The weight of his absence was almost too much to bear for some, who sobbed openly, their cries blending into a mournful symphony of sorrow that underscored the event. As the day wore on, the emotional weight became even more palpable. Friends, family, and colleagues alike exchanged words, gestures, and glances of comfort. Those closest to Song Jae-rim spoke softly of his kind spirit, his generosity, and his gentle heart. The memories of his laughter, his light-hearted jokes, and his quiet support to those around him brought a bittersweet warmth to the mourners as they shared these stories. The pain of loss seemed to sharpen the reality of his absence, sitting in you with each anecdote within the hall. The sorrowful unity among celebrities and fans alike was a poignant reminder of the deep connections that exist beyond fame. Kim Soo-hyun and Song Hye-kyo exchanged comforting glances, drawing strength from each other as they struggled to hold back tears. Observing this, fans felt a bitter, sweet sense of comfort, recognizing that the idols they adored were, in these moments of grief, simply human beings bonded by friendship and the sheer pain of losing someone dear. The fans outside continued to whisper stories and memories, their voices filled with a mix of sadness and fondness. Some recall Song Jae-rim's humorous interviews and witty comebacks. Others as heartfelt performances that had left a lasting impression. These shared memories created an atmosphere of unity. Strangers became companions in grief, bound by their love and admiration for a man who had brought joy to countless lives. As the time came for Song Jae-rim's final farewell, a hush fell over the crowd, a respectful silence filled only by the sound of soft sobs. The casket draped in flowers was brought forward, each step marking the somber reality that this was indeed goodbye. Jung Han could no longer hold back his tears, raising a trembling hand to wipe them away. In that moment, he was not an acclaimed actor, but a grieving friend, his heartbreak visible for all to see. Those around him offered silent support, a hand on the shoulder, a comforting glance as they too wrestled with their own grief. Kim Soo-hyun stood nearby, the full weight of the loss evident in his eyes. He closed his eyes, covering his mouth as if trying to contain the overwhelming sorrow that threatened to consume him. Fans who witnessed this moment described it as heartbreaking, seeing someone they admired typically so composed, now openly vulnerable. The sight resonated deeply with everyone, a raw and painful reminder of the human heart behind the public figure. After the service ended, Song Kyo lingered a few moments, her gaze fixed on the casket, lost in thought, perhaps recalling the memories they had shared. She stood in quiet contemplation. Her tear-stained face reflected the void that Song Jae-rim's passing had left in the lives of those who knew him best. Fans watched her quiet farewell with a sense of shared sorrow, finding some solace in knowing that even those they idolized felt the same heartache that they did. As fans began to disperse, their voices were low, their steps slow. Some whispered prayers, others clutched small, momentous tokens they had brought to honor the memory of the man who had meant so much to them. Song Jae-rim's passing at such a young age served as a harsh reminder of life's fragility. Many left reflecting on the unpredictability of life and the precious moments we often take for granted. The emotional outpouring did not end with the funeral. In the days that followed, social media became a flood of tributes, memories, and messages from fans across the globe. Images of Song Jae-rim, moments from his career, and heartfelt condolences filled every corner of the internet. Messages poured in, some recounting the impact of his work on their lives, while others simply expressed disbelief and sorrow at his passing. The legacy he left was clear. He was a beloved figure, one whose warmth, laughter, and kindness would be dearly missed. Even as life moved forward, the pain remained woven into the hearts of those who had known and loved him. Jung Hae-gun, Kim Soo-hyun, and Song Hye-kyo each left the memorial with heavy hearts, carrying with them the memories of their friend, their eyes reflecting a profound sadness and an enduring respect for the man who had touched so many lives. For the fans, too, there was a lasting emptiness, a void that could not be filled but would instead serve as a reminder of the joy and comfort Song Jae-rim had brought to the world. They would remember his smile, his humor, and the kindness he shared with all. And though he was gone, his legacy would live on forever, imprinted in the memories of those who loved him. May Song Jae-rim find peace and comfort in the world beyond, free from the pain and struggles of this life. As he embarks on this final journey, may his spirit be surrounded by warmth and serenity, knowing he is deeply loved and cherished by all who knew him. His laughter, kindness, and passion will forever remain in our hearts, a reminder of the joy he brought to so many. Rest well, dear friend, and may you find eternal happiness in the embrace of the stars.